Views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the station, its management, or advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The Ecosystem Approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach show. How are you feeling right now? Today, during this show, we're going to help you feel better. This is the Ecosystem Approach show, and I'm Patricia, and this is my husband, Jason. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. Jason, many people in the audience are asking themselves, how are you going to make me, meaning them, feel better? So how is that? How are we going to do that, Jason?
Well, rather than tell you what to do, which is what, if you want to feel better and you Google it, they'll tell you do this, do this, do this, do this. And we're not going to tell you any of that. We're going to help you change the energy. Emotions are energies. They're not moods that come and go. So even though you stop feeling an emotion, it's still present.
Right.
And it's one of the biggest things that we've been trying to get across to people in the 20 years that we've been doing this work, is that if you see your emotions as energies.
Exactly.
And we have a process to remove those energies.
Exactly. I love that.
You can feel better.
Yes.
Actions don't change energies. Now, they may change your focus. They may numb you out. They may distract you, but they don't really change the energy. And we know that because we can see it.
Right.
We're able to, emotions are right there. And through our intuition, we're able to see that. We see it because we're intuitive, but
correct.
There's no reason why you can't see the same thing.
Exactly.
At a certain level of intuition.
Right. So, we have a process that, which is, of course, the ecosystem approach, hence our name, that clears negative energy and then neutralizes negative energy. In other words, it's time to stop realizing you don't have to be a victim to negative energies. You don't have to be a victim to your own emotions.
Your own negative emotions.
Exactly.
And here's the biggest thing. If you don't feel good, that means that there's negative energies, there's negative emotions.
Right.
If you feel fine, that doesn't mean that you're okay. That means you're probably numb. People, numbness is such a big deal in this country right now.
Exactly.
That most people, how are you doing? Well, I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm fine. And
well, that's it. Jason's mother. She's always. I say to her, "How are you doing today?" I'm fine. And you can physically see, literally see, she's not. And she really, really, really struggles with the energies that she's been dealing with all of her life.
We're not taught to talk about our feelings.
No, geez, not at all.
And frankly, to be honest,
okay,
if I meet someone on the street and I say, "How you doing today?" I really don't want them to tell me. So if you meet me on the street and I ask you how you doing, I don't really want to know really the whole answer. Okay.
Exactly.
But when it's just you and I, like it is right now with this show, I want you to feel better. And so it's really important for you to know how you feel right now.
Well, okay. But the question I have is how people feel right now, but I want people to understand. Say we get angry about something or hurt about something, and we go through it, so to speak. if you haven't been clearing or using the ecosystem approach, those energies build up and they layer after layer after layer after layer. In fact, I have a really good story about this.
I think that's a great story. Go ahead. Yeah.
And the story is, and I have to admit, I did not get my daughter's permission for this, but I'm going to do it anyway. My daughter is a child diabetic. That means she's a type 1 diabetic. And diabetics, they really struggle with a lot of physical stuff. And there's a few spots. One of them is you can go blind from diabetes. You can have major kidney problems. You can have heart problems, definitely.
Lots of side effects.
They are really effects. And usually a diabetic won't just have one. My daughter does have one. And she has struggled with the sight in mostly one of her eyes. And so we go together and she sees a doctor every year, one in Stanford. And by the way, he's top of the line. And so that's fantastic. 3 years ago, we went, she got a test and he said, well, I see deterioration happening. So that's just the way it is. We walked out
in her one eye.
In one eye.
Yeah.
And we walked out of the office and you could tell I could see she was visibly upset. And I said, you know what? We've tried everything. We've tried medication. We've tried exercises. We've tried even surgery. None of these things. I mean, things have been, helped, but it's progressively getting worse. And I said, so let's try the ecosystem approach.
So she used her mom authority to twist her arm.
I did. I did. And so we both started right then. And we were clearing all the negative energies that I could see, that she could feel, that she could, see, and that sort of thing. And we cleared on a regular basis for a full year because, of course, we have to go back every single year. And we went back the following year. And by the way, we didn't go when we were supposed to go this year because of COVID.
Okay, but yeah.
Anyway, so we went and the doctor comes in. We both go, 4 years are better than 2. And he starts in, he takes this big lens and he's looking in her eye and he pulls back. He cleans the lens. He looks again. He sets that lens down. He gets another lens. And I'm assuming that it was more powerful. And he looks and he then backs up and he says, we don't say anything. We're expecting, bad news because that's what we've always had. And he said, in all my years of being an ophthalmologist, I have never seen improvement in diabetic retinopathy.
So let's talk about what that means.
Exactly.
This is an example of the buildup of negative emotions. And for our daughter, it was expressed in her eye.
Yes.
It was expressed that she wasn't able to see and her retina was deteriorating, and it got better because we took away the negative emotions.
Exactly.
It doesn't. So you say, well, I don't have that problem. Well, it could be cancer. It could be any sort of health problem. It could be relationship problems. It could be money problems.
Exactly.
They're all the buildup of negative emotions.
Exactly.
And just feeling good, which is what we're talking about today.
Well,
if you're not feeling good, there's a buildup of negative emotions.
She danced out of that office.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, I have to tell you, it was incredible to see with my own eyes and of course my heart to see the difference in her demeanor alone.
People struggle with this idea that emotions are energies and they build up.
Yes.
That if you don't clear them, they get more and more and more.
Right.
And
right.
even when you know it, a lot of people don't know it. And or we're bombarded with this idea that we're a machine.
Yeah.
So you plug in this formula and get out this action.
This result.
Another story.
Okay.
We heard about a college kid who was
exactly
really stressed out about his classes.
Right.
He's overwhelmed.
Really common.
He always have tests coming up. You get papers due.
Sure.
And so he called his dad, and his dad told him to own the day. Oh, doesn't that sound great? Own the day. It sounds like a movie, seize the day, own the day.
Yes, I got it. Yeah.
So, but it's really bad advice. And let me explain why.
Why?
Okay. When you own the day, what he's saying to him is all those feelings of overwhelm,
dread,
dread,
fear,
failure.
unworthiness.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. All of those things.
Put those aside.
Right.
And just act like you're owning the day. Well,
Act like. Wait, that was the key. Act like.
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
That doesn't change the energy.
No, it
And
doesn't.
he's setting his son up on a path for a lifelong of owning the day. Well, all of a sudden he gets maybe gets depressed. Maybe he gets overwhelmed more easily. Maybe he gets feeling failure more easily. It's just going to build up and build up. Maybe it's going to express itself in cancer or heart disease or some other physical
In other words,
malady.
it doesn't, the results or the expression doesn't happen right away sometimes.
And we don't,
and it can carry on.
and there's no way to predict what that
Exactly.
is.
Exactly.
But you know it when you see it.
Right.
And so if he had come to me, I would have said, well, let's clear it. Let's clear the overwhelm.
Right.
Let's clear the feeling of failure.
Right.
Let's clear the fear that you're not going to get it all done and you're not going to graduate or you're not going to get what you need.
Exactly.
That's the way to deal with this stuff. So,
all right, Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
okay. Feeling better is the result of removing negative energies, not actions.
Okay.
The negative feelings in our life can be removed, but they don't go away if you numb out or ignore them.
And don't use the ecosystem approach.
Exactly. Negative feelings build up over time, and ignoring them will just create bigger problems later.
Right.
The ecosystem approach teaches you to constantly, consistently, and specifically remove your negative emotions and feelings and energies.
Love it. In the next segment, we're going to talk about how to feel better by changing the energy. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, my name is Diane McClay. I'm comfortable being in front of people. How to make things work in a structured format made me feel a little nervous. Everybody I have worked with on the Transformation Talk team met me with enthusiasm. Their confidence in me spilled over to me and allowed me to just grab onto it and say, oh yeah, that's me and I can own it. Thank you for showing up for me. Thank you for allowing me to put my gifts into the world. And thank you for making me look good while I do it.
Has your kindness been used against you? Are you ready to clear the confusion and reconnect with your power? Then it's time to become toxic person proof. Join toxic relationship specialist Sarah K. Ramsey as she gives you the secrets to rebuilding and rebranding your life after a toxic person encounter. It's time to get past the past, get real about the present, and get serious about your future. For more information, visit sarahkramsey.com.
Hi, I'm Laura Goldstein, and here's a Coffee with the Universe tip. It's no secret that anxiety and overwhelm are on the rise. While the tendency is to suppress these feelings, anxiety is really a messenger that's telling you something is off, very off. You might be shooting yourself and living a life based on someone else's expectations. Maybe you have trouble saying no. Or maybe you're following the fearful voice in your head that demands you do more, be more in order to feel worthy. So see where you can make a few adjustments in what you're doing to get rid of the overwhelm and create more peace inside instead. To get more tips like this, tune into my Transformation Talk radio show called Coffee with the Universe. It's a live call-in show. I'd love to chat with you.
Are you trying to lose weight, but feel guilty for eating your favorite foods? Feeling deprived and resentful makes for results that aren't sustainable. Join Adrienne Craig every second and fourth Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com for her show, Master Your Mindset for a Weight Loss Breakthrough. Learn to love the journey and watch yourself succeed. For more information about Adrienne or to work with her personally, visit LifeCanyon.com.
If you struggle with fear and anxiety, you know how powerless and stuck these emotions can make you feel. You've tried everything, but nothing helped you overcome these blocks. Dr. Friedman Schaub, award-winning author of The Fear and Anxiety Solution, created a special program which helped thousands of his clients to become healthy, happy, and confident again. Learn how to eliminate negative self-talk, let go of your emotional baggage, and replace limiting beliefs. With Dr. Friedman's accelerated program, you can break through your challenges. Visit thefearandanxietysolution.com.
This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. In this segment, we're going to talk about how to feel better by changing the energy. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. Jason, I know you can feel better by removing the negative energies or, the negative feelings, but how do you know what negative feelings you have or that somebody has? How do you know this?
Well, that's a really common question because most people are numb to their feelings.
Yes.
And they get used to feeling numb, so they think it's normal.
Yeah.
We've had clients for 5, 10, 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
And frankly, the reason they keep coming back is they use our ability to see what's in their way.
Right.
Now, after that long a time, typically they're able to know those feelings on their own,
right,
and start to see what's in their way, and they even develop a vocabulary about their emotions. Most people don't even have a vocabulary.
Yeah.
Was that jealousy? Oh, I didn't see that as jealousy. I saw something else.
Right.
Was that anger? Oh, that looked like just being irritable.
And I was just being myself because I was frustrated.
Yeah,
one of those.
Exactly.
But that's truly anger. So
if you don't know how you feel, you can't clear your feelings to feel better.
Well, okay, wait a minute. So then what do? You
start by clearing numbness.
Love it.
You can always start by clearing numbness.
I love it.
You start a day and you say, how do I feel? Well,
okay.
I don't know. I'm going to clear numbness and then see what comes up.
And I have to say this. If you're somebody like me who is, let's see, has all kinds of emotions all the time.
Well,
it has to do with my personality type.
See, but here's the difference. Okay. And this is probably relates to someone in the audience.
Okay.
You're expressing your emotions all the time.
I am.
But you don't necessarily know what they are. Usually. And that's why,
exactly.
It's you're lucky. I like to say you're lucky to have a husband that can say that was when you're going,
and he's learned to choose his words and point carefully. but go ahead.
The truth is that as you do this work, as you keep doing this work, you get better and better at knowing what your emotions are.
Right.
Am I happy? Am I sad? Am I hurt? Am I feeling overwhelmed?
Right.
People don't see that as an emotion necessarily. Stressed. People don't understand when they're stressed,
they don't see that as being related to emotions either.
Yeah,
and they are, by the way.
Stress is an emotion,
exactly.
And then so you break that down. Is that anxiety? Is that fear? Is that anger?
Right.
Is that
but
hurt?
You start by clearing stress, and then those emotions they'll pop up. Sometimes 20 of them pop up all at once. But oftentimes it's just one and it's dragging its feet.
Yes.
You have to kind of pull it out of somebody to get that, to get them to go, oh, that didn't feel good at all, but I feel so much better now.
So it's common practice today to program yourself, to treat you like a machine, treat yourself like a machine, which means pushing your feelings aside, manipulating yourself,
discounting them,
seducing yourself with, if I do this project, then I'll give myself a treat.
Yes, one of my favorite,
or something.
Yeah.
So M&Ms are her kryptonite to her superwoman. So, anyways,
okay.
I know she'd never heard that before. She never knows it's going to fly out of my mouth.
No, I don't.
But another way of looking at it is when you have negative emotions. If you see your ecosystem, which people are ecosystems, they're not machines. So you see yourself as an ecosystem. when you have a negative emotion, it's like adding, it's analogous. The metaphor is like you've got an oil spill on your ecosystem.
Oh.
So when you add a negative emotion, it's like putting oil into the oil spill as opposed to taking the oil out of the oil spill. So, we've heard about marine life and what that does when there's an oil spill in the ocean.
You're going to talk about that in the next segment bit more.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's, as you would never think about this normally. I mean, if you were, if you saw there was an oil spill, you'd want to say, we got to get that oil out so the marine, the ecosystem can restore itself.
Well,
right.
But let's get a little clarity on this. Some people would go, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And some people would say, I don't have a clue what to do with that. I have to call an expert. Others would say, well, I really want to help, but I'm not qualified. And what we're saying when we're talking about emotions, that spill of emotions, or
being analogous to an ecosystem, is that for your ecosystem, you have to know what the oil is that goes into that, that oil spill.
And that's
where
where clearing numbness comes in there. That's a
I was
good
wondering
one.
where you're going with that.
Okay.
I just figured it out. So, the truth is you may not understand how to clear the oil spill from your ecosystem.
Right.
But, that's what the ecosystem is all about.
Well,
the ecosystem approach is to teach you how to deal with your ecosystem in a way that's unique to you, because her ecosystem
is not the
way
same as
different
his.
than mine.
That's exactly right. So, Jason, talk about the college kid again. You have something there.
Well, okay,
There's something more.
So he was stressed by his schoolwork.
Right.
I've worked with a couple of college kids over the years, and most of them have grown up and graduated. But if I was helping someone who's going to college, I would have them clear all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Clear the resistance to doing a project, clear the fear of failing a test,
right?
The clear getting sucked into the social aspects and forgetting about the schoolwork, all those things. And every person's different. Some students are different. Some have they have different oil that goes into their oil spill.
Right.
But that's what the ecosystem is about, is seeing everybody as a unique ecosystem.
Correct.
That needs to be dealt with in a unique way.
Well, and one of the things we don't talk about, we talk about it, but not that often. We kind of assume it. Clearing is cumulative, meaning the more you clear, the better you see.
Which makes sense if you think of yourself as an ecosystem that has an oil spill, and you're taking away the oil.
That's right.
And the negative emotions are analogous to the oil.
Right. And Jason and I know we've talked about it before, but Jason and I, we clear every single day. We clear individually and together. And we have a process that we do. I'm going to say it that way. And the process is as soon as the coffee is made, then
we clear in the morning over coffee. At night,
yes.
We clear
when we're walking. We clear in the car.
We work together, but when she has her own office and this is my office, and we'll have instead of a coffee break, we'll have a clearing break.
Exactly. And everyone says, "Oh, well, you've done the clearing so much that you're an expert in it, but you don't have anything to clear." Okay, I'd love to say that, but it's not true. I clear all the time.
It takes a while, and one of the things we talk about, and if you want more information about this, is about the discovery of the 80%.
Yeah,
and
that's huge.
That kind of frames what we see about people in general in their ecosystem, and how much pollution is already there.
Right.
And if you go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org, there's a section on the discovery, and I think you'll find it very interesting. But so people, when they talk to us,
yes,
they feel better, and the reason is that we zero in on the feelings that are in their way in that moment, and then we identify them. We help them clear them, and they do it with us.
Yeah.
We don't do it to them.
Right.
They do it with us.
Right.
And we just identify what's in their way, and we change,
I have a little tiny story.
Okay.
A little tiny story. When I was teaching water aerobics when we lived in the Bay Area, I kind of snuck it on the class, the clearing, and it ended up being fun, definitely. And people came back. I had regulars that came into the class every day. Well, one day, I'd forgotten all about this until just now. One day, a new person came into the class, and one of the not older students, but one of the continuous students, or the student that was there all the time, the person came in and she said, to the other person, have you been here very long? And she said, well, I've been here a few years, that's for sure. And she said, a few years, really? And she said, yeah. And the person that had been there a few years, she reached over and she touched her and she said, you're in for a real treat. At the end of that class, that new person came up to me and she said, I just smiled and, went on. But the new person came up to me and she said, in all of my aerobic classes that I've done them here, there, and everywhere, I've never had either so much fun and felt so much better at the end of the class. And I was really sorry to hear you say the class was over.
So the point is that she did clearing during the class.
I did.
So when they were doing water aerobics, they were also doing clearing. They were getting rid of their negative emotions. And that's why they felt better. So
exactly.
If you're listening today because you want to feel better, we're going to start doing that in the next segment.
Right.
So,
okay. Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
We are not taught to know how we feel. Numbness is the most common result. You can always start to feel better by clearing numbness, and then whatever comes up after that. Clearing your feelings is a cumulative process. The more you do, the better you'll feel.
Right.
And the ecosystem approach teaches you to feel better today and to feel better for the rest of your life as it accumulates and gets better and better.
I love it. In the next segment, we're going to talk about how to start treating yourself like an ecosystem that it is, and how that will make you feel better, meaning the clearing, when you start doing it today. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason. That's him, and Patricia. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
How do you feel? Just okay? Well, how about you tune in and get ready to be more with the Healing Hour with me, Doc Martin, every third Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. I'm ready for your questions, and I can't wait to help you find the answers. Every month, we'll have a new live call-in show with innovative topics and a powerful hour of healing. To learn more about me, visit DrSharonMartin.com. See you there. I'm going to be here. You won't want to miss it.
TheAngelLady.net. 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 1-800-323-1790. 1-800-323-1790. Sue Storm. TheAngelLady.net.
Did you know that when we talk about the Earth's ecosystems, the most important ecosystem has been left out? We created the Ecosystem Approach to recapture human potential.
Find us at theecosystemapproach.org.
Join us every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time for the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Are you ready to put down that drink or drug for good? Are you struggling to maintain your recovery from addictive behaviors? Do you need help with a family member or loved one who's in early recovery or battling addiction? Get the help and guidance you need by arranging a Recovery Recharged phone session with me, Ellen Stewart, Pushy Broad from the Bronx, certified life and recovery coach. Call 1-800-889-1757. Make an appointment today or go to my website, pushybroadfromthebronx.com, and click on the link that says Recovery Recharged. Don't wait. Get the help you need today. This is Ellen Stewart, Pushy Broad from the Bronx, on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Tune in to the Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. In this segment, we're going to talk about how to start treating yourself like an ecosystem that is, and how that will make you feel starting today, meaning feel better today. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. Okay, Jason. So what does an ecosystem have to do with feeling better?
If you think of negative feelings as an oil spill in your ecosystem,
okay,
and if you're programming and avoiding your feelings or just not doing clearings every day, your ecosystem is becoming more and more toxic. Here's the problem.
Okay.
We're trained to be machines, to be programmed.
Yeah.
If you go down the grocery aisle,
okay,
which I do all the time, I love to do this, and read all the headlines, weight loss in 3 easy steps.
When we're standing at the checkout stand. Yeah.
5 steps to a better relationship with your husband.
Right.
Stop beating your kids in 3 easy steps. Those types of formulas, which is everything's a formula.
Everything.
You have problems being alone during the pandemic. Oh, do this.
Yes. And buy the magazine. Yes. Go
exactly.
ahead. Yeah.
Those formulas are just programming,
right.
And they add little by little oil to your oil spill.
That's already there that you don't want to get bigger, but if you're not doing the clearing, if you're not doing the ecosystem approach, it is getting bigger.
There's resistance. We think of ourselves, we've been trained, we've been programmed to believe that we're machines.
Yes.
From birth, sit in school, the teacher tells you the information, then you give it back to her, and
right.
Just like a good, obedient little machine. And we're not.
I have no idea what he's talking about because that certainly wasn't me.
So here's a good metaphor.
Okay.
The Exxon Valdez oil spill.
Okay.
If you remember, there was a big oil spill up in Alaska. It was a major oil spill. A tanker spilled a lot of its cargo, and I just looked it up. 25 years after the initial oil spill, they still finding that the marine populations have not recovered to pre-spill numbers.
I find that to just be astonishing.
Well, it's an indication of that ecosystems are living things, and that when you put toxins into them and then you start to remove those toxins, they start to restore themselves. But it takes a while.
It takes a while.
One of the most common questions that we've always received is, well, how long does it take?
Right.
Well, that's a machine question. How long does it take to input this program and then get out this result? We're all unique.
Right.
And you may struggle with certain things about, removing those toxins from your ecosystems. Another person might struggle with something else.
Oh, absolutely.
And have a different time frame.
Well, you know what? I have a really, really good example of that. I was programmed that if I said anything against my family, I'm talking about my family of origin, if I said anything against them, it meant I was betraying them. And it was really, really, really hard for me when I first started doing the ecosystem approach to realize that I didn't have the perfect family, because as far as they were concerned, I did have the perfect family. Well, I want you to know I didn't. I love my family. Do not misunderstand me. But the point that I'm getting at is I even had to go through clearing, getting rid of, using the ecosystem approach. I had to get rid of that I had betrayed my family. And that was a fate worse than death for me. It was really hard.
So that programming is hard to uncover, and that programming is part of the toxic ecosystem.
Oh,
so
yeah.
there might be some parts of that oil that are easy to get rid of, and other parts that are dispersed, in the whole ecosystem. And we're trying to use a metaphor, but the truth is that you don't just all of a sudden spill oil in the ocean and then take it away and then everything's fine next week.
Exactly.
It's a process.
It's not. Well, because, things trickle down and that's underneath.
I guarantee
gets that toxins.
The ecosystem in Alaska is different than the ecosystem in the Gulf of Mexico.
Of course it is. Everything's different.
All the different places that you could have
right.
an oil spill. But if you think of that oil spill as a metaphor for the negative emotions in your ecosystem,
right.
People struggle with that idea that we're ecosystems. And, Trish and I used to have this joke that we would work with someone for the first time and say, "Oh, how do you feel?" And they say, "Well, I don't feel anything." And then we always wait for it. And then they'd say, "Well, but I do feel lighter."
Right.
So that's where we, if you've been listening to us for a while, we used to have the name the Living Lighter. And that was what we called the process that we did. But the reason we changed to an ecosystem approach, because it's much more honest and it's a much better way of describing how we see human beings.
Exactly.
We're an ecosystem that's constantly in the state of flux, that we're getting toxics over here, we're getting toxics over here, and we have to continually start removing those toxics so that our ecosystem will right itself.
Well, and, people have said to me, when I talk about the toxic energies and that sort of thing, people have said to me, what does that have to do with how I'm feeling today? Or what does that have to do with the problem that I've presented to you today, or the addictions that I have, or the money problems that I have, or
the health problems,
the obsessive compulsive things that I do? And the answer is that if the toxic energies or the oil wasn't sitting on top of you and your ecosystem, you would have better clarity about how to do your life.
Those negative emotions aren't natural.
No.
So if you look, we see a relationship between the buildup of negative emotions to addictions of all type, obsessive compulsive behaviors, fears, phobias, worries, compulsions, anxieties.
Right.
All the emotional problems that we're having in the pandemic. The reason they're coming to the surface is because that ecosystem's been building up with the oil spill.
Well, and the other thing is that people were taking that energy of those toxic energies, and they were throwing them out there, or the result out there, to other people. Well, now they can't do that because they don't have contact with other people.
Well, one of the ways of thinking about it is imagine if you have an ecosystem like the ocean, and you spill oil on it,
right?
And just in the halfway, you've got halfway removed half of it.
Okay.
And then someone spills it again.
Yeah.
I mean, it layers on top of the negativity, and that's what's happening to your ecosystem right now. Now, we're not saying that to make you feel afraid or bad or
programming.
hopeless.
But wait a minute, this is really good, because programming teaches us, if you have feelings, throw them at somebody else, lay them on somebody else.
Well, and that's what we do inadvertently. We're not taught to do that.
We are taught to do that. Absolutely.
Okay. We're not taught specifically to throw our negative emotions on people.
No. Oh no, that's that underlying thing.
Because we are treated
like a machine.
We don't know that we're throwing those emotions around, those energies around, because we're not even aware of those emotions and energies.
Hi, I'm going to call my friend and I'm going to just, unload. Well,
I'm going to share my feelings, which is really a form of just dumping them on someone else.
Excuse me, dumping more oil on somebody else.
Because we were programmed to believe that's how you feel better.
Exactly.
That's what friendship is.
Exactly. So, and Jason, I just want to say we are adding more oil every single day. if you're not clearing, you're adding more oil, not only to yourself, but to others every single day.
So
what are the key points of this segment, Jason?
Start clearing today and don't stop.
Yeah.
Programming creates damage to your ecosystem every day, like adding oil to a spill constantly.
Okay.
And reduce the buildup of negative and toxic energies by clearing every day to feel better. Mm-hmm. And the ecosystem approach was designed to help you feel better today and for the rest of your life. So keep going.
I love it. So Jason, let's teach people how to do the clearing, which is the ecosystem approach.
So you can use any posture. You don't have to be reverent. You don't have to go any of that. You can sit, stand. Right. You can be laying down. You can be standing on your head. It doesn't matter.
If you're driving, don't close your eyes.
You can be talking to someone and be clearing.
Yes.
And you do it in your mind's eye. But when we say and to eliminate, just gather up those things we say to eliminate, whether they're emotions or whatever, blow them into a trash can.
Or the processor, which is right behind us. We finally got a picture of the processor.
We have a picture of the processor.
Right?
You can see it if you're seeing us in Facebook Live.
Exactly.
You can see the picture.
Exactly.
And
it works, by the way.
Just use your imagination. Put the stuff in the top of it. Mm-hmm. It processes it.
And it comes out neutral out of the red thing.
Yes. So
I love it. Love it. And then after that, was there anything more you were going to say about that? Okay. And then after that, we're going to activate life force energy. It's the most powerful energy we have access to. And by the way, it's everywhere. Everybody has access to this energy. And what we're going to do is we're going to call upon it. We're going to call upon it to go in through the top of our head, go all the way down our body and our arms, clear to the tips of our toes, stop it there, turn it around, and use that positive energy to remove more negative energies. And of course, those negative energies go into that processor that's right back there or a garbage can. So anything else at the moment?
That'll do it.
Okay. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to start clearing the negative energy so you can feel better right now. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, I'm Trish Laub from A Cup of Comfort, where we talk about Care Hero topics that nobody wants to talk about. Here's your Care Hero tip of the day. As a child, I took dance lessons. I would twirl through the grocery store, leap from aisle to aisle, and dance anywhere I could. One day, while giving my parents their medications, I realized that dance was my medicine. And when I took my medicine, I was more patient and focused, and my emotional and spiritual tank was filled with more of everything I needed to be a better caregiver and daughter to my parents. I realized that self-care was not selfish, but rather self-love, and that it was essential to my ability to be resilient and to recharge and thrive instead of merely survive. So now when I need to recharge, I turn up the volume and dance it off. What's your medicine? Tune into my show to learn more. See you the second and fourth Tuesday at 12 Pacific, 3 Eastern, here on Transformation Talk Radio. Feel free to reach out to me at info@trishlaub.com.
Juggling life's relentless demands can leave us unbalanced and restless. Do you feel stuck in the overwhelm? Diane McClay is a personal empowerment coach, author, and compassionate storyteller on a mission to boost you into balance and help you move forward with passion and purpose. Get unstuck with Diane on The Diane McClay Show every second and fourth Friday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. For more information about Diane, visit DianeMcClay.com.
Learn how to lead a happier life on Miles to Go with Brittany Miles. How to lose to gain it all. Join Brittany every second and fourth Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Listen as coach and healer Brittany Miles shares stories that teach you about surrender. For more information about Brittany, milestogocoaching.com.
Hey everyone, it's me, Psychic Medium Jamie.
And me, Spirit Walker Nicole from Shades of Spirit, bringing you another Shades of Spirit tip of the week. Jamie, have you ever wondered if you might be an empath?
Yes, I have. And some signs that we may be an empath include an inexplicable desire to avoid crowds in places like movie theaters, shopping centers, and restaurants.
Sometimes I'm able to walk into a room with other people and I know exactly how they're feeling, even if no one is saying a word.
I can attend social gatherings or other events and find myself so emotionally exhausted and physically drained that I could probably sleep for a week.
If any of these examples resonate with you, please come check out our new live podcast, Shades of Spirit. It's on every Monday morning at 8 a.m. on Transformation Talk Radio.
You can also find us at shadesofspirit.com, where you can book your appointment or call us at 858-684-7575.
This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. In this segment, we're going to start clearing using the ecosystem approach so you can feel better right now. So, Jason, you ready? Let's rock and roll.
Here we go. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate the negative feelings that I'm having right now that are keeping me from feeling good right now. Take a breath, gather it all up,
and
blow it in the processor.
Good. And to eliminate, we're just going to shorten it a little bit, and to eliminate the false belief that says, I have to know exactly what those negative emotions are, or I can't let them go. But the truth is, that's not the truth at all. Your intention really matters here. Take a nice breath. And
to eliminate the numbness that I have to my emotions so that I can start to know what I'm feeling and clear those things right now. Gather up the numbness.
Take a breath. And to eliminate the anger that I'm stuck in because, well, life is just life today. I release and let go of that anger and the frustration and even the rage that I'm stuck in. Take a breath. And blow it out.
And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that feeling better is an energy process. Gather up those veils and illusions in the processor.
And before the ecosystem approach, I thought it was that I'd go out and buy a new dress, but that's not exactly the case. Because, after you go home and put the dress on, you go, oh. Anyway, and to eliminate
the negative feelings don't go away.
The negative feelings don't go away. That's
people are thinking that I'm just a cheapskate and not buying any dresses. So hey, that's a different thing.
Yeah, no, that's not what that is. And by the way, I have to say, he will buy me anything that I want. I'm very, very lucky regarding that one. So, and to eliminate the blocks that are keeping me from seeing the negative energies that I have and the value of myself. When I get rid of them, take a breath.
And to eliminate the anger, hate, rage, and bitterness that I'm numb to that prevents me from feeling better right now.
Yeah, take a breath. I do want to say there's been one byproduct that that I don't think we've ever even talked about, maybe once or twice. But the bottom line is that Jason and I laugh all the time, and it has to do with that we have access, that access to our laughter. Everybody has it. And
our lightheartedness.
Since we remove negative energy, it's gone. So, and to eliminate all of the negative energies that are blocking me from laughter and happiness and joy. Fun. Take a breath. And right back there.
And to eliminate my fear of trusting that I can feel better by clearing my negative emotions. Take a breath.
And to eliminate the false belief that says, if I ignore my emotions, if I ignore my feelings, they're just going to go away like they always do. I release and let go those false beliefs because the truth is, you're not a machine. I'm not a machine. Take a breath and blow them into the processor.
and to eliminate my difficulty believing that clearing my emotions will help me feel better.
Mm-hmm.
We're not taught that at all. It's kind of a revolutionary idea.
It really is. Take a breath. And to eliminate my compulsion to trust a quick fix for my emotions, as opposed to what? Clearing, doing the ecosystem approach. Take a breath.
And to eliminate my fears, worries, and anxieties that I'm feeling right now that just keep me from feeling good right now. Take a breath.
And here's a really good one. And to eliminate everything that I've been taught, all the programming that I've been taught that teaches me that I'm a machine and I need to act like one, when the truth is, acting is not authentic. Take a breath.
And it doesn't get rid of negative emotions.
And it doesn't get rid of negative emotions. You know what? Take another breath on that one, everybody. So, Jason, activate Life Force. Here we go. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to activate Life Force so I can feel better right now, and I can use the ecosystem approach constantly, consistently, and specifically every single day, several times a day if I need to. Take a nice breath. Let it go in through the top of your head, nice and easy, all the way down to the tips of your toes. Stop it right there. Turn it around. Any negative energies, put them in that processor back there.
And to activate Life Force so I can have the determination to clear away the negative energies in my ecosystem.
I love that.
Starting today.
So let that come in through the top of your head. Determination right here by using Life Force energy. And now blow out any negative energy left over. By the way, negative energy is everywhere. That isn't hopeless, not at all. And to activate Life Force so I can be happy and healthy and love myself, have laughter and fun and joy, and know that I can change my life starting right now by using the ecosystem approach. Nice and easy. Pull it in through the top of your head, all the way down. Stop it at your toes, turn it around, and blow it out. Negative energies. Jason, we kind of have a full schedule this week. So what are we going to talk about next week? Let's start with that.
Okay. Well, next week we're going to talk about the solar eclipse. That's next Monday. It's the 14th. It's solar eclipse.
And it's, by the way, somebody's birthday.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to talk about that, but we're going to talk about the energy of it and how to use it for your benefit. Now, a lot of times people talk about astrology and the energy.
Right.
But they don't tell you how to use it. And that's what we're going to talk about. We always try to make the ecosystem approach practical for what you use it day to day.
And the practicality of it is the thing that makes it so amazing. You know, you can do it anywhere.
Tomorrow, we have a special guest appearance on the Dr. Pat Show. She's not going to be there, but we're going to fill in for her at 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Okay.
And so you'll be able to see that show. And if you haven't noticed, we're now doing video, Facebook Live.
Right.
So,
and by the way, I had to clear my way to get here to do this. I need to say that because it's a little scary sometimes.
I think the most important thing that the audience needs to know is that you're not really taller than me, but I think that's a really important point to point out.
Oh yeah, the most important.
Her stool is about this much higher than, but we saw that we both sat on chairs. She looked like she was way down there.
Well, I'm not quite as tall as Jason. I know he calls me short. I am short. I am definitely short.
The show tomorrow, filling in for Dr. Pat, is about fear.
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm going to use. I'm warning you. There are 2 Army stories about jumping out of an airplane and
fear. Don't make me.
So we're going to talk about that tomorrow.
Okay.
And you know, if we've touched you today, and
in any way,
and in something that we said about clearing your ecosystem, that maybe your ecosystem is toxic, and maybe at some level you know that I know that's true for me. I know that's what they're saying is right. The way you get more information and real support from the ecosystem approach, we've made it really simple for you. Listen to our show every week. Go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org. Sign up for our free section, which is a whole bunch of content. And it also make sure you have the box checked, because we'll send you a weekly newsletter that has clearing statements. So even if you don't know what to clear, they're right there.
Well, and I just want to say this. Even if you start with that, in other words, if you don't know what to clear, one of the things that we know, and we've been told, that doing any clearing at all makes your life better.
Exactly. We have clients that have been with us for many, many years.
Right.
They use our clearing statements on that newsletter
all the time,
and they put them on their phone. They do it during the week. And,
exactly. It's pretty cool. I wouldn't have thought that putting something on my phone would make such a difference in a daily life, but I guarantee you it does. So
go to our Facebook page, theecosystemapproach.org.
Okay.
We're going to try and post this video there.
Okay.
And we'll tell you every week, please, if you enjoyed the show, please like us. I'm like insecure. So unless you like me, then I have nightmares, and I have to clear it, and there's not enough clearing time.
Yeah,
so.
there's not. Yeah. And not to mention he loses sleep, but that's okay. Anything else we want to talk about at the moment? Okay, so we're going to connect next week. Oh, that's not true. Please join us tomorrow for the Dr. Pat Show at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Please come and join us. And then next week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern time, because this is Transformation Talk Radio, and you're listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia.
Remember, your ecosystem is the most important one in the world.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.